Morning or afternoon, probably by the time you see this. This is Heather Davis, and this is BioTech Today. And you know, guys, that I love me some natural news. And I could blog for him, but he doesn't want duplicate content, so I'm too selfish to post it on blogs.naturalnews.com. I just post it on my own website instead. I know. And yeah, that's wrong. I know. I should blog on there. But anyway, today, as usual, Mike Adams really nails it with this article on Altered Genes, Twisted Truth, and I've added it to my Amazon store, so I hope that you guys will go to my Amazon store because, I've been literally adding things to this store for 4 years. Useful things like organic tampons. You can't get those at Walmart, okay? Boron, which may or may not detox fluoride from your bones and decrease arthritic symptoms. Way better than eating borax like our grandparents used to do, which could probably kill you from acidosis. But here, I want you to look. So there's family health, natural foods, home and garden. Click on media and then books. And right here, number one, is Altered Genes, Twisted Truth. It's a bestseller. I'm about to order it and read it myself. Of course, I've always talked to you guys about Seeds of Deception, and I have that book, or I had it. I loaned it out, and it never came back. That tends to happen with books like that. And of course, Callous Disregard, Andrew Wakefield. I've got so many cool things here. Lawn Gone, for example, if you don't want to fall for the scam, of grass. Grow food instead, or this actually doesn't focus on food, but it focuses on natural plants. Aquaponics, I mean, the list goes on, but let's focus on this today. So finally, it looks like, with this best-selling novel, maybe, just maybe, people will stop saying that we are against science because we don't like GMOs. But it's always the ignorant people that don't really look into science, or the paid shills that say those things. It's kind of like back when people used to say you weren't a patriot if you were against the Patriot Act. You know what I mean? This is an upside down world. It's like a song I wrote, and the world is upside down, which hasn't really been released yet. But I'm working on it eventually. So, Altered Genes, Twisted Truth. Please go and order that on my Amazon store. I'll put the link for you. And you can also read this article. How the venture to genetically engineer our food has subverted science, corrupted government, and systematically deceived the public. Because that's the real problem here. Science isn't the problem. What's the problem? Money. And so I may not, Mike Adams may not agree with me on this, but having a completely capitalistic society is why our government can be corrupted. Why our drugs are, ruling over natural therapies. It's because of patent law and capitalism. And I'm not against, I'm not for saying that we should be communists either, but we need to have something going on in our government to regulate these politicians and how they become politicians, because that's where they sell out. They're really great when they're running for office, and then by the time they get there, we all know they're sold out. They owe too many favors, and they can't actually do anything. It's the irony of the situation. Like, I genuinely think Obama wanted to label GMOs when he was running for president. But by the time he got there, they just clinched down on that vice that they had on his man sack, or maybe even threatened his family. I mean, do you not remember all those banker suicides like a year ago? If all these banker people, like mid-level, not quite upper-level banker people, were killing themselves, I wonder why. Maybe because their families were threatened. Who knows? Who's to put it past the drug companies? I mean, the drug companies have been caught doing everything else in the world. So maybe the guy's just trying to, you never know. Maybe he's just trying to protect his kids. But this, the cool thing about books is once they're published, they're out there. It's like squeezing the toothpaste out of the tube. You can't take it back. And so there's no point in threatening one's family And that's why my goal is to write a book. So check this book out and go to the store. Please go to the store. I work hard for you guys. I work every day. I work hours and hours. I let my baby cry. Not for hours and hours, but seriously. And it's all for you. And I know that any of you that are subscribing are intelligent beings, because I got a confession to make. I have very above average intelligence, and I'm not like a genius or anything, but I'm almost a genius, and it's very lonely. Okay. I feel like I'm speaking Greek sometimes, and I'm just so blessed that I found a husband that, can keep up with me, because it was very lonely for years, and I would just think all my boyfriends were morons, and I would be condescending to them, and I'm still condescending to people I'm around. It's just a horrible thing, and I'm probably condescending on here, but I know if you guys are subscribing, then you have a brain. And so if any of you out there haven't subscribed yet and you actually understand half of what I'm saying or whatever, please subscribe. Gosh, that sounds so bad. I'm not trying to sound that way. It's just that you're probably thinking when you watch these other videos, wow, she's really long-winded, or what is she talking about? I don't get that connection. And then you go back or maybe you don't go back. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is that most people in this country read at a 5th grade level. And my intelligence quotient is just like so much higher than the average person that they don't relate. So like when I post an article on my website, say this Merck vaccine fraud document explains herd immunity. Even that phrase, I don't know. It's just, I think when I go to edit the thing or publish it, and I check my this plugin that checks my SEO stuff, it always says there's this reading scale of, how difficult it is to read or whatever. And they always say it's very difficult to read. It's very difficult to read. So I need your help. I know that you guys are smart, but if you know smart people that can actually think about things objectively, and they don't have to have a basis in science, but just be able to ask questions. Anybody really that's a conspiracy theorist, I think, is smart, because that right there takes brains to see what's going on, or at least get a clue of what's going on. None of us know everything that's going on. But the biggest thing that I figured out is that the world is truly upside down. The Affordable Care Act isn't affordable. Vaccines cause disease. They don't protect us. The government is supposed to keep us safe and free, and instead often they infringe on our freedoms and endanger our children. And so just help me out, guys, and try to share my videos with people, because I do work hard. But really, seriously, if you're going to buy this book, and I haven't read it yet, but I do trust Mike Adams, just please buy it from my store, okay? And it's store.edencultures.com. And you get it on Amazon for the same price that you would normally get it, but I'm going to get a whopping 4%. And if 20 of you buy it, then I might get 10%. Ooh, 10% of $16. It's $1.60 a person times 20. That's $32. That would be the biggest month I've ever had at Eden Cultures. So you can see I'm doing this tirelessly, and we've spent thousands of dollars. And I also, not counting my $60,000 worth of student loan debt. So I'm not falling for that BS again. But I do have the science background, and anything on top of that I've gained, I've done it on my own. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.